Hey everyone, welcome to the Dad Level Podcast, episode 45. This week, we're just going to talk about what's been going on. I think David actually had a topic or mentioned in the Discord that we wanted to kind of go over a little bit, or was Colin?
We both came up with one, sort of.
Yeah, and David gives his face of like,
what?
Nothing of the sort. No, that wasn't me. You're putting me on the spot.
Well, because you led with, we're just going to kind of talk about this generally, and then and then David brought up a topic. It's like, oh wait, so are we doing both? Are we doing all, or just?
Well, because we got two things we discussed in the chat that we could do as little things like, what's the date? Something 83, Benny.
For
the two movies.
June 25th, 1982 was the date that Blade Runner and The Thing released. June 25th, 1982.
Yes.
Okay.
A sci-fi geekdom multi-orgasmic event, okay? You had geeks exploding in line trying to decide which movie they wanted to go see more.
Well, then you had the kids that were wanting to go see E.T.
Yeah, I was about to say, there weren't a whole lot of geeks, apparently, that went to go see either Blade Runner or The Thing.
Because they had kids that wanted to have them go and see E.T.
Was E.T. the same day? Or was it already out at that point? Because both of those movies were same theater, same everything, same day. You know, it's like June 17th, 94. Okay. And for those of you who don't know what that's about, June 17th, 94 was when the Stanley Cup finals were won. The NBA finals were going. Baseball had no World Series because there was a strike. And O.J. Simpson did the slow speed chase. So you had all these major sports events going on literally within the same 3-hour time frame. And it's a great documentary on it. So basically, this is like the two movies is like the sci-fi version of that.
Well, so E.T. had been out for 2 weeks.
Okay.
June 10th was when E.T. apparently came out.
And yes, E.T. was a blockbuster.
Right. So I've never looked into. I've always heard that Blade Runner historically bombed right at the box office, and then every John Carpenter movie basically never performs great.
Doesn't perform great in theaters.
Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like everybody loves his movies, but then nobody goes to see them in the theaters, and it gets all of its legs and its life in the home video market. So
you're talking about a movie that defined science fiction horror, and you talk about another movie that defined science fiction, cyberpunk noir.
Yeah.
It defined the entire aesthetic for a whole genre of film, right? Like anytime anyone thinks of cyberpunk, the immediate landscapes and things that come to mind are Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Just
right.
Plain and simple. And so it's just, it created that, it basically created that genre, but nobody went to go watch it. Nobody went to see it. So it's funny how, things like that come up, right? Where you have these, what people don't realize in the moment are these humongous genre defining films. And it's not until later that they really get picked up and people start realizing, holy shit, this is really good. And look at all the different things that they were able to accomplish, and look at the visual
effects.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie still held up for the longest time. I mean, with everything in it that they did. And then you think about all the product placements that were in the movie as well that helped fund that movie. But you're talking about, so Blade Runner, the original book for that is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, And then for The Thing, there was another movie that originally came out, Thing from Another World, came out, 1960?
Which, honestly, that the original movie, The Thing from Another World, has one of the best like Burning Man scenes I've seen in like
Oh,
old
1951. 1951. Sorry. Okay.
films. Considering the time that came out, like the point when they set the monster on fire in that movie and how long that scene goes on and how it that whole thing was plotted out, like, you know, with the movies that we have now, you don't always have an appreciation for that. But I remember seeing that for the first time and being like, at that point, I had the ability to actually appreciate, man, that was an impressive long shot of someone being set on fire and running through this set and then crashing out all in just what seemed, I want to say it was a single take that ran through. And it for the time, it was impressive. And so, you know, you had this almost history, right, with the thing of really well done special effects. And then we got the most recent one, which shed those special effects chops for CGI.
Well, and we know the history of that. You know, that was mainly the studio pushing that on them because they originally done that movie with the practical effects. I wish that one day we'll be able to get that. But, you know, talk about the book. You know, it was John W. Campbell's Who Goes There, which is, you know, one of the things with Carpenter, he wanted to make a movie that was very close to the original book versus, you know, kind of capitalizing off of the Thing from Another World.
So what's cool about it, though, so just the other day, I was looking up the new movie that they're working on, right? Because Blumhouse is supposed to be working on a new iteration of The Thing. Mm-hmm. And what it's apparently based on is not the original John W. Campbell came out with the short story of Who Goes There. And there was a longer version of that story that then got released. What was it? Five years? Not that long ago. It was like a handful of years ago. Mm-hmm. It got released. And so it apparently it changes like a whole bunch of aspects of the story. And so the Blumhouse one is supposed to be trying to be more in line with that second iteration of Who Goes There than the original one. So it's not just going to be like them trying to go back and retread the same ground for another time. They're actually working with technically a whole new type of source material to build off of. And so I haven't heard anything more about it, right? It got announced right before all the COVID stuff happened. So I'm really curious where they're at with the production of that, because I would love to see them do a brand new, fresh take with a kind of altered storyline to this. It would be from the original author, right? How often do we get that? Because you get retellings, modernizations like I Am Legend that changed a ton of stuff about the original story, but it wasn't by Matheson didn't write that. Here we actually have a chance to see two slightly different iterations of the same story written by the same person turned into a movie, and that's kind of a cool thing that we will hopefully eventually get to see.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, you got the main character is still McCready, but there's at least like 50 people at that research station versus the, you know, like the 13 people we saw in the movie. You know,
and I do have faith in Blumhouse. They seem to get the idea that stories they need to be good stories. They need to be able to. They believe in storytelling. They believe in good cinematography. Well, then they latch themselves to a lot of the classic stuff. Like they've also got the Exorcist remake, and I have faith in that from what I've seen so far.
I mean, when they decide that they're going to really put their money behind something, absolutely they go knock it out of the park. But then they still will go out and make some schlock. But
the schlock is what makes the money to make the bigger stuff, right?
Yeah, you gotta even stuff out and make the cheap stuff that'll bring in money to pay the bills, right?
Right.
People go watch any kind of B film if it looks funny enough.
Yeah,
it's like they explained it in Ed Wood. The church wanted to make of the movies about the 12 apostles, but Ed said, "No, you got to do this schlock. You got to do what grabs the audience to get your funding to do the stuff you really want to do." And that's what them B, C, D movies, that all that lower tier stuff is. It's schlock that people will go out and watch in droves, bring in the money, And then, okay, we can put this toward, hey, we got this book over here. Let's put it into that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen.
They take the Roger Corman approach, but then
Yes.
they take chunks of the money that they get, put it into a big barrel, and then they're like, hey, we want to make something that's a little bit better quality. And hey, we got this giant barrel of money we've been filling up. Let's go use that to go make this. And it's great.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The barrel's got a picture of Hello Kitty on it or something.
No. It's what is it? They that other cute little Japanese looking cartoon thing, but it's the heavy metal fox or whatever. Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
And
you're gonna have to find a picture and put it in there.
I'm thinking of the little bear that they have that you can get memorabilia for. I can't remember its name either. My brother-in-law would know. But speaking of the fact that you look at, okay, so you had these two movies come out on the same day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the fact that like how the thing stood the test of time, even today. The practical effects hold up so well that even if I showed it to somebody new, it's going to look as great as it did when it released in 82. Now, you look at Blade Runner, which is a fantastic film, but it has like 9 different versions, you know?
Yes.
And that's, I mean, and it's like, it's one thing when you release it and then the audiences don't like it, so you do something different to make it, you know, maybe fit a little bit better to help with the gap in narration. It's a whole other thing when you use it to explain your life crisis as a director and how you want to change and flip-flop your decisions on how things go. And then you want to add even more stuff to it to like make it this great magnum opus. And it just does not work.
Look, I agree. George Lucas should never have touched Star Wars.
Now I can connect the two of those. Okay. The Harrison Ford effect.
Okay.
So there's that one. Hold on. And then that turns into this.
Metal Kitty with the metal hands.
Yeah. The concept is it's this timid little
for metal
office worker that at the end of the day goes to a karaoke bar and drinks and sings heavy metal. So there you go.
All right. That's got to be connected somehow to that band that puts on the giant suit with the monster that sits there and plays drums like some
Guar?
No, not Guar. I'm gonna look it up. No, there's a documentary on Guar that just came out.
Okay.
Oh, God.
It's like a full behind the scenes.
I want to see the behind the scenes of Guar.
But yeah, the other thing we mentioned in the chat was the 4th of July thing that for possibly next week.
Well, I still think we can do some more stuff with this whole discussion with the thing. And
oh yeah, but that was the other thing that we talked about.
Yeah, the 4th of July. Yeah.
So that'll be next week, folks.
So, you know, you got what? Harrison Ford in Blade Runner, and then Kurt Russell in The Thing. 2 actors that have gone on to do great roles in film. Edward J. Olmos playing, you know, his sidekick in that, was it Griff?
Yeah.
His name. And then, but he ended up becoming the detective or the chief of the police for the Miami Vice. You know, his character was awesome in that show. But he also went out to do other things too. You know.
Then the thing you had Keith David.
Just
yes.
Mm-hmm. And everything he touches. You know, from
real quick, David.
Yeah.
You want some fun?
Go ahead.
Google Nyango Star. Nyango Star.
Should I tell people not to do this?
No.
I've seen this. The weird giant like donut cat thing.
Yeah.
Is a crazy awesome drummer. Yeah.
Yes. guy, whoever the drummer is, I don't know who. I mean, that's got to be some world-renowned, well-known drummer to be putting on that suit, because watching him play is insane, especially in that giant costume. And that is, I found that, and I went down a rabbit hole for 3 hours watching that stuff. I'm just like, fantastic. Anyway, back to the thing. So, but see, I find it interesting that Harrison Ford has been in two major, I don't know if you want to call them franchises, or, I mean, Star Wars franchise, Blade Runner. Yeah, but thing is, they took both of those key movies. Okay, they took Blade Runner and they took Episode 4, and they said, "Oh, this isn't good enough. We need to do all this stuff. We need to make the Death Star really explode in space," which doesn't happen. And then Blade Runner, they had to like put this over here and this thing over there, and I don't understand it. Yeah, pick one. So now, if I want for the kids and stuff like that, when they were younger, when I was showing them the movies, I went right back to the first version before all the crap. This is what they originally gave you. Okay, here's your biscuit.
But see, the good thing is that you can still do that with Blade Runner, right? Like you can go out and buy like every Blade Runner that you can buy these days is the whole collection of all 20 different versions of that movie and every cut that you can get from it. And I'm waiting for the point where it just gets to where you can like mix and match them. Like, okay, I want
the dialogue here.
Yeah. I want to see where it ends, where he's totally a replicant, but I also want the Harrison Ford voiceover as well, right? It's like I need both of those things. I want them to survive in the end, and it's like, yeah, I want to be able to mix and match and make my own Blade Runner movie out of what already exists.
Yeah.
Whereas with Star Wars, you famously can't do that unless you have the one set of crappy special edition DVDs.
Well, I have at least A New Hope.
Yeah.
I have that one DVD.
Yeah, but that's the only way anyone can go back and see Han's neck not break and his head shift over like 1 foot in order to not be shot by Greedo. I don't know how George animated that, put it through, it got reviewed, and everybody's like, yeah, that looks totally natural, how Harrison Ford's head just goes to the side, fully horizontal, to avoid that shot. Great job, George. Cut, print, let's go make some money. God dang it. And of course, we're never going to get those original cuts ever again. Damn you, Disney. Just give it to it. Just give us the OG cuts.
They won't even give it to us digitally, man.
No. I don't understand.
They can be found. They can be found. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I'm sure they can be.
Yes. No, they absolutely can be found. Just like I was able to find a version of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit that stripped out all the extraneous bullshit out of it and literally made it a singular movie.
On one disc?
It wasn't exactly a disc, but
it was available.
I watched it. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of a competent movie. It doesn't have a weird love triangle between a dwarf and elves and a bunch, and Radagast doesn't have birch on his head for no reason, and I don't understand what's going on with any of this, and thank God it's over.
Yeah.
That should have been one movie.
Should have been.
At most two.
No.
I mean, it's like we can't even get the animated Hobbit movie at all.
Again, you could find it. I've actually seen copies of it on DVD.
On Blu-ray?
No, I don't know about Blu-ray, but definitely DVD.
No, I haven't been able to find it on Blu-ray, but I do have it on DVD. And I bought it not that long ago.
Okay.
Damn it. I think it's in the other room, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, some of the stuff, man, is a pain to find.
I'm waiting for the 50th anniversary of Blade Runner that has like 50 versions of the movie.
What about the what is it? There's a sequel to Blade Runner, not 2049. It was And I think it had Kurt Russell in it. It was
Soldier.
Yeah.
What?
Soldiers, yeah.
Soldier is part of with Kurt Russell as part of Blade Runner universe.
Yeah, so let's get
Okay, that's new to me.
Let's get that collection. Let's get all of Blade Runner together, all 30 different versions of the original, some kind of director's cut of Soldier, and then
a digital copy of the book so you can read it.
So it is. We'll go down this rabbit hole. So
let's do this.
It is believed that at least Blade Runner, Soldier, Alien, and Aliens take place in the same universe, but just at different times. That the synthetics are what before they were full synthetics, they were like Ash and Bishop.
Oh,
replicants?
Really?
That they were a so Wayland Yutani versus the corporation.
Okay, so what company owns the rights to the Blade Runner thing now?
I don't know.
Hey Google, what company owns the theatrical rights to the movie Blade Runner?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that, but I found something related. Do you want to know who has the rights to Blade Runner?
Yeah.
On the website flickeringmyth.com, they say, Alcon Entertainment acquired the rights to Blade Runner back in 2011, and while 2017's Blade Runner 2049 failed to set the box office alight, the company has continued to tell in-canon stories through various comic book titles at Titan Comics, as well as the recent Blade Runner Black Lotus anime series from Adult.
Okay. See, I didn't know about the anime season either.
Yeah, I saw it on Crunchyroll the other day when I was flipping through it. I haven't watched any of it, but it's out there.
Now, the other part of this is that the movie Outland with Sean Connery is part of that universe.
Yeah. See, now all of that sounds like life model decoy stuff, which is why I was curious about who owned it. The LMDs in Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I would like to see a good Philip K. Dick movie again. It's been so long since we've had one. Like, I know they did the whole Man in the High Castle, right, for Amazon Prime, but it also wasn't exactly the Man in the High Castle. Like, it was good enough, but I'd like to see another weird, batshit crazy K. Dick movie again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that should get done again. I mean, of his, but we've already had like one attempt with the, Total Recall, or Remember for Wholesale.
Oh, the remake of it.
I'm sorry. I we're gonna go off the rails, and we might even get demonetized. But the way you keep referring to him as K Dick, it sounds like some kind of bad Korean porno.
Philip K. Dick.
K Dick. K-pop K Dick.
All right, all right, fine.
PK Dick. PK Dick.
To keep it PG, we'll just call him PKD.
PKD.
PKD. Like the gun.
Yeah.
Still the best gun in New Vegas.
There you go. Gun. Hey, maybe that's what that's named after.
What?
Maybe that's what the gun is named after.
It is. In New Vegas.
Named after him?
It's based on the Blade Runner gun. So the gun in Blade Runner is called a PKD.
Okay.
And they recreated that exact gun. It's a 556 pistol. Is it 550? I think it's a 556 pistol in New Vegas that you get from the inn with the sniper that's sitting in the mouth of the giant dinosaur.
Okay.
You go through a certain quest line. The lady who owns the inn, she has a safe in the floor. If you either complete the quest line and get the key, steal the key from her, or pick the lock, you actually get that gun from that, and it's the Blade Runner gun, the PKD.
Okay, so does that make Fallout New Vegas canon?
In the Blade Runner universe?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of it messes with the canon about as much as Kenobi because it's not that far enough. It's not far enough in the future, so who knows?
Yeah, it's only like 200 years, I believe.
Yeah.
200 years is plenty of time to get a gun and put it in a floor safe.
So it's yeah.
Unless he's a replicant, then he put the gun there himself.
Well, considering they played with replicants and stuff, well, synthetics in Fallout 4 with the Institute.
Yeah. I was kind of sad they never introduced that gun in that game because, you know, it'd be great to run around hunting synthetics with the PKD revolver. Be like, hell yeah, I'm down.
You know, it's funny how Fallout 4 came out way before Westworld TV show,
right?
And how they used a lot of the things from that game to make their show. Even down how they make the synthetics are very similar.
Fairly similar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm calling it canon. What the hell?
Yeah, let's just go for
I'll
it.
allow it.
It's in another dimension. It's parallels. It's like
Doctor Strange did it.
It's the multiverse.
Yeah, Doctor Strange did it.
So, well, you know that there's parallels between Cyberdyne and Wayland Yutani, right? They're like the way that
they're competitors.
Cameron kind of did it. It was that they're parallels of each other from different universes. One creates the Skynet, and the other one creates the synthetic robots and build better worlds.
Yeah.
So one succeeds, and the other one succeeds.
Creates an AI that destroys all humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, what Tony Stark almost did.
A different way.
And Batman. But
we've completely.
Have we exhausted this topic yet?
We've completely derailed this conversation.
Have we exhausted it? Though?
Yeah, because I was about to go into how in Batman the Animated Series, one of the best and most underrated episodes of that was where everyone's being replaced by Terminator-like replicants by Hardak, the giant supercomputer that they developed that zaps everyone, pulls them into its system.
Yes.
And starts replacing everybody with basically Terminator robots, and Batman's got to go in there and deal with them, and it was great.
All right, I can get behind that because I can piggyback off of that and go, okay, where have I heard that idea before? Oh, Tron. Zapped him into the computer, zapped him into the system. It didn't go as far as recreating him on Earth, but nobody thought like that back in the day.
Well, I'll put it this way, that all the programs that people created, the programs look like their creator.
There you go.
Now, if we're going to go down this rabbit hole even further, I'm going to go the game Snatcher by Hideo Kojima, and how the fact that you fight creatures that are called Snatchers, and they're basically Terminators that are disguised as people in society.
Right.
Which is another parallel to Blade Runner because you're a guy who goes after Snatchers.
And then, of course, because you brought up Snatchers, you have the interdimensional pods that come in and replicate people, the Body Snatchers.
I actually just watched that with the kids the other day, the Donald Sutherland one.
Yes.
Oh, Puppet Master. That's a great movie.
No, not Puppet Master.
No.
The original. I'm sorry, the original.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
The original.
Yeah. The Donald Sutherland one was great.
Both of those movies.
Yes.
To take us back to the great practical effects of the Thing, the effects in Invasion of the Body Snatchers is actually really good. Like whenever it's
very, very great practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the very beginning, I was actually kind of surprised when you see the alien plant life growing out on all the plants and seeing it spread out like that. I was kind of curious how they did some of that because it looks
probably stop motion.
Easily done at the time.
Well, you think about the way in The Thing with the when the dog is taking over the other dogs, and just how the tentacles just start coming out of it and just start spreading all over the room like a fungus.
Yep. But there's a lot of interlocking going on here we never thought of before.
Hey, look, the way that people talk about how everything is 7 degrees from Kevin Bacon, right? You can get to just about any kind of nerd topic from something else pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
Everything is about 7 degrees out from anything else.
That's
why you have all these nerds who put together insane theories where authors who wrote stories that knew nothing about each other somehow are all tied into each other. Like Philip K. Dick wrote, PKD wrote a story a long time ago before before Cameron and them ever thought of Terminator or Alien was ever dreamed of, and yet, all this is totally tied together. I don't think it is, but it's cool to think that it is.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Fan fiction. It's the ultimate fan fiction.
Well, and then you got Cameron taking inspiration from Starship Troopers for Aliens.
Oh, I would argue that he got more. He used Starship Troopers way more with Avatar.
Oh, that's true too. Or Fern Gully. He was bored one day. He's like, "How can this movie be any better than with fairies?"
Yeah.
But blue 8 feet tall or 10 feet tall aliens
and people walking around in mech suits. I'm down with that.
Those mech suits are awesome. I mean, man, I want to see more of those in real life. But
that was that. I still say my 2 favorite parts of Avatar, of that whole boring ass movie, were the two best moments of the main villain when they're getting ready to escape and it had already been established, like, the atmosphere will just straight kill you. And he didn't care. He just grabbed a gun, kicked out the door, and just started shooting at the ship.
Yeah, he has like impeccable lungs, man. He must have robotic lungs or something.
Yes, and then he's sitting there.
Get you those new legs. You do this job for me, and we'll send you back home.
He's just sitting there glaring as the ship flies off, and then some ensign comes walking up to him and hands him the mask, and he looks at him almost like he's offended. Like, you think I need that to breathe? All right, fine. For you, just so I don't break that little brain of yours, I'll put this on and work it. And then at the end, when he just, these arrows, right? The poison on them will like stop your heart in a second. My man takes like 4 of them and just keeps going. I was like, man, this guy is awesome. Why isn't the story about him?
This guy's the next Terminator.
I don't care about all this other nonsense about, we got to save the planet and, the blue people and they are attached to the planet. Now Sigourney Weaver is the planet and all that stuff. No. I want to see the Terminator. I want to see him just wrecking house in here. At least like another, please.
I want to see him play Old Man Connor.
He's like Achilles.
Yeah.
Don't get that one spot. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at me go.
It's awesome. Best in that movie.
Just because we're talking about that movie. So who he was? He was in that same actor was in Stephen Lang was in Tombstone.
Was he?
Yes.
Who was in Tombstone?
He was there. Hold on, I'll pull the image of him from Tombstone. The log don't go around here, law dog. That dude.
Yeah.
That was him?
Yeah. The one that like through the whole movie, he should have been killed all the way through. And he's the one who's like the coward running on high horseback going throwing at his cowboy the red sash.
Man, I need to go back and rewatch. It's been forever since I've watched Tombstone. I'm kind of in Western. I've been in kind of a Western mood lately. I haven't sat down and watched them yet. I've been kind of gathering Westerns I either haven't seen in a while or I haven't seen it all, and I found it look pretty interesting, like that Old Henry Western. That one looks really good. And then I want to go out and buy some of the older Italian Westerns, like, well, I'll be damned, that is him. Holy crap.
It's a blurry picture for some reason, but hold on.
Yeah, but I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blueberry is another good one.
I'm sorry, but if he would have if that version of him in Avatar took on Wild Earth, that would have been a whole different movie.
He would have wrecked everybody.
He would get out of the way, Johnny Ringo.
Yeah. Oh, Funko just released a Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer Funko.
Okay, I need that.
Yeah, it's even got the red around the eyes and everything. It's fantastic looking.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find that. I have to look on Big Bad Toy Store later.
Because I saw the pictures of it, I'm like, oh, there's only certain Funkos I want, and that and the Johnny Cash ones are on the top of my list. I saw that and I said, that's got to be in my studio. So I mean, and all I saw was just tiny little picture of it, and I'm like, sold.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some money and I'll throw it at you.
Yeah, I don't have to. I've got. I have ones that parallel mine and my wife's favorite characters. So I have Green Lantern and I have Wonder Woman and I have Spike and I have Faye, and then I have Marvin, the Martian, but she doesn't really have an equivalent on that side. And then since then, I've also picked up John Stewart and Alan Scott, just because I got to represent the Lanterns just a little bit. No Guy. I've never tried to hunt down Guy. I think I'm good with the trifecta of Alan, John, and Hal.
I've been wanting to get the Spider-Man's 199 one that they did. Looks really good, but it's gone up in price. It was like 10 a couple months ago, but it seems like it's gone up. But I have the Turtles ones. Oh, that's fantastic. You know Daisy at all.
And then there's this one that I'm really in love with too.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Fight at the OK Corral.
Yeah, and then I think there's a third one. Yeah, there's a third one.
Oh,
nice.
Well,
that's not as cool as the other two, but still Val Kilmer getting some true love, you know. But the first one with him cross-legged, you know, the gunfight scene, brilliant. Love that one. So
my beef's not with you, Doc.
I'm your Huckleberry.
That is definitely a genre I would love to see come back in a little bit more prominence, right? Get done a little bit more. It seems like, you know, we had started to see a resurgence of Westerns for a little while, and then it just kind of faded off into the background again.
Yeah.
But I would love to see some really well done Westerns, not like the weird popcorny one like that most recent Magnificent Seven that they tried to do. It was a little too slick, right?
Yeah.
It was enjoyable, but it was too, it wasn't.
It was too slick as a good for it. Good Westerns.
It wasn't gritty enough.
Yeah. They need, exactly. Gritty was what I was going to say. They need to be gritty. They need to be disjointed. They need to have a visual form of disparity to them.
Besides my story that I have that I'm not going to talk about on the podcast because I want to get it written, finished, and then see if I can get it filmed, or if not, put it as a book. But I'd love to see like a Western set with like vampires or some other like unworldly element, you know, that they had to deal with besides like cowboys and aliens.
Ed Wood, there is a script out there called The Ghoul Goes West. It is basically supernatural and cowboys. And the script is like lost to time. And a lot of people talk about it. If he ever got the thing off the ground, it would have been one of the first of the kind. But there is a story like that out there somewhere. I've been hunting for it for years.
That'd be awesome because, you know, honestly, that's one of the really the types of genre films that I don't know has ever really had a good representation of, right? Even though there's this huge history of weird West stories, right? There's all kinds of tales of weird West that exist out there where it's not even necessarily vampires. Sometimes it's almost Lovecraftian, the kind of things they're dealing with, this weird, faceless, shadow-like horrors that creep out from the plains and hunt them in the night and all that. It's like, I wonder why that's never really gotten its due, right? And I think it'd be a really cool thing to get an actually good look at, and to really play with the idea.
You'd literally really like you take a character that's set in the West and like have him have to like step outside of what his known knowledge base is how to deal with something like this. That was what was so great about Red Dead Redemption, with the Undead Nightmare, or that one. So that was great. Everybody loved that. Of course, we were wishing for it for Red Dead Redemption 2, but yeah, I'd love to see like a zombie Western or a vampire Western, or like them dealing with some kind of a cult, bringing demons in. I mean, the closest we get to that is like Demon Knight, or and that's not even doesn't take place in the West, but it takes place in a Western town.
And Billy Zane is fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great to have Billy Zane back again. He's like the mayor the mayor of the town.
Oh damn it! What does he say? All these hold up, podunk, them there motherfuckers.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, I mean, the closest we got to like a vampire Western that I remember is Near Dark, and it wasn't like it was set in the West, but like the main character Jesse is supposed to be Jesse James, and they were from, the main vampire was supposed to be from the West, back then. So fantastic movie if you guys never seen it.
Yeah, I never have.
Bill Paxton. I would definitely put that on a movie night. Which reminds me is that so we've been starting to do these movie nights in the Discord, and the first one we did was The Thing, and it was really good to get to have a couple people in with my dad, and we watched that, and then this last Friday we watched Turtles, the first one, and it's amazing like just how well Jim Henson's puppeteering stays. But if you're looking for it, you can see where there's eyes here. You can see the eye slits underneath their eyes. You can see the little things that, like, if you're looking for it, it's there. But if you just don't look for those things, you can like watch that movie and it looks like you're looking at real turtles,
David,
what's up?
I give you one, Cowboys versus Vampires, DVD release 2013. And the next one, starring Danny Trejo, Death Rider in the House of Vampires, from 2021.
This has got to be awful.
They got to be awful. We need something that's going to be good. Okay, here's my premise. Here's the idea.
There's also the movie The Burrowers, which I'm not finding out too much about.
Okay.
But that's on Amazon.
I'm not saying they don't exist, right? Like,
right.
And any concept that's out there
has been done before.
Has some representation somewhere. It's just it's like, again, the surge of movies that we love from the 80s, right? So many of them, what were they? They were people who saw some awful movie from the 60s, or some movie that they thought that needed a fresh coat of paint on it from like the 50s and 60s. They remade it in the 80s with the technology and the effects available then. And that's how you got The Fly and The Thing. And you got these really awesome horror films with these great effects, was because they saw something, from way back when and wanted to make it. I mean, the old movies are still good, but make it even better, right? The Blobs, all that stuff, right? They wanted to really flex on that movie, and stuff like that would be awesome, right? And so it's like, there's got to be some movie that exists out there that somebody be willing to dig into, right? Not like neo-Westerns, because technically Dusk Till Dawn, right? Dusk Till Dawn is very much in the spirit of a Western, but it's not, right? Like stuff like that. And I love that movie. It's a fantastic movie, but it's still that kind of concept. It'd be really cool to see something with some budget, like Blumhouse decide that they're not just going to, make this as one of their, we're just doing this for, it costs us $1,000 to make this movie, and we're going to make some coin off of it to go make our remake of The Thing. It'd be nice if they actually took their Agretsuku, however the hell you say that character's name, that barrel of money and put it behind something like that.
Okay.
Oh, thee well.
So I know Colin's going to say something real quick, and
I'm going down my own separate rabbit hole. I just sent a list to the chat. It's like the 5th or 6th one down the list. There's a thing called Bone Tomahawk, starring Kurt Russell.
But
nice.
Bone Tomahawk is it's great. It's good.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
guys.
The last person to get murdered by, one of the last murder scenes in that is it'll hurt you as a man. I'm gonna leave it there. It's a good movie, and it's less them fighting a supernatural horror, right? They play up on it as if it's a supernatural horror, but in reality, it's just people, right? They're weird, deformed, messed up people. Yeah, but it's not quite there. It definitely fits the Weird West because it's not like they're just fighting Indians. They're fighting a weird, almost Neanderthal-like, group of people.
Yeah, that's what I was reading in the review of it. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, still, it's definitely a fantastic movie. It's just, it's not quite what we're thinking of.
So what if here's an idea I'm just playing with because I like doing this stuff with like mental gymnastics about trying to make a filmed idea come to be. But what if like you did a Lost Boys but set in the West, and it's the main vampire is Max again, the same actor, even though he would be too old. They'd have to get somebody else to kind of redo the role. But it's
no, you can de-age him.
Yeah.
If the budget's there, they can de-age him because that's what they're doing with all this Marvel stuff. So it could be a Lost Boys prequel.
Yeah, he passed away in 2014. So, I mean, they'd have to get somebody else to cast him.
All the better.
Yeah.
He's actually dead.
So, but yeah, you could do that or have it like where it's, and it just, the thought came to mind is like similar to Something Wicked This Way Comes, where it's a carnival that comes to a West town.
That did happen. Those kind of things, that's entirely a workable premise.
Oh yeah. It was kind of like
they're traveling shows where those were some really strange stuff back in the day. Mm-hmm. Bearded ladies and two-headed men, and
if you want to watch a really good example of that kind of a story being told, the sadly short-lived 2 seasons of HBO's Carnival, nail that. It's not entirely the West. It's set during the Depression era with the Dust Bowl and all that, but it is so weird and filled with so much just like old world kind of mystery where nothing is really explained very well. It's just there are people that have either these weird abilities or they come across these strange, circumstances of like a ghost town that they don't realize is a ghost town, and then one of their own gets captured and has to stay there, right? Like those kinds of stories was all that Carnival told, and the whole time you have this slowly building up to this fight between two natural forces of good and evil that were destined to come into contact with one another. And it was a fantastic show, and if you watch it, you just stop it like 5 minutes before technically the credits end. It's a great spot to stop if you just want a closure. But if you keep watching it, it leaves you with a cliffhanger. And I think that there had been talk about doing a comic and some other things a long time ago, and it never took off, which is really sad. But like stuff like that would be so cool to see, because absolutely Something Wicked This Way Comes, a movie that Disney released how long ago?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Like where's the remake? Where's the remake of that, Disney?
Where's that re-release of it so we could get it on a Blu-ray copy instead of just a out-of-print DVD?
Yeah, what the heck? I mean, I get that Ray Bradbury, hated everything that wasn't, in paper form, but I mean, somebody of his estate signed off on that movie, so Can y'all let somebody come out with it again so we can all enjoy it again?
So here's the working premise I got so far. And you think about it like this. This plays up on the whole thing of like, you know, you talk about old towns in the West, you'd hear about towns just drying up. There'd be dead towns across like that western side of America. And, you know, it could be around this whole carnival. Think of like Stephen King's Salem's Lot. You know, how Barlow comes to town and stuff and just slowly starts turning the whole town into vampires. But instead of this, it's like, you know, you could even like just play up on the fact that it's Dracula. You know, he has people that his ghouls and other creatures of the night that he has traveling through America to do these shows, and that's how he gets his body counts. You know, one person disappears, a family disappears here or there, and he's the ringmaster. He's the one that like puts on the performance, and because he's a vampire, he can, you know, draw the ire of whoever he wants for the attention of, and there goes that missing person, you know, and have it to where some deputy or sheriff is like, hey, this some weird stuff's going on, we need to check this out. And then, you know, you can introduce a character that's kind of like Von Helsing a little bit, or at least someone who's like fanatical about you know, cryptids and stuff, and got word about this traveling caravan that goes around doing these shows, and everywhere it's gone, it's caused this like disappearance of people.
You would make him a what were they called? Circuit rider. Helsing would be a circuit rider, which was a what were they? Episcopalian preachers, right? That way he would have a reason to be going into all these different towns and hearing about all these different disappearances, and that's how he would piece it together, right?
Yeah.
And so through that and all his travels that he would have experienced and seen all these bits and pieces of the macabre and pieced together and been able to create some means to give him a method of fighting the creatures of the night, right? So yeah, it's definitely doable. It's workable.
I could see a scene where he comes into town before the circus does, because he's like, this is the projected spot they're gonna go, and he's like talking to the sheriff and stuff. You got and the mayor of the town, you got to refuse this. And they're like, no, this is going to bring in so many people to the town. We got all this money from the gold mines going on. This is perfect for the town. And like they lock him up, and then shit starts to happen and everything. And he's like, no, man, you got to. And then they like, maybe he's telling the truth, or he gets caught doing something that gets him thrown in jail.
But yeah, so it would be him going as the carnival's setting up. He goes out there to like try and bless the ground, right?
Yeah.
To create like a circle of blessing around where the carnival's at, to try and either destroy them or drive them off or whatever it is that he
seal them within the.
And then he gets caught, and they try to claim that he was vandalizing their equipment and things like that, and that's what gets him caught. Yeah, man, there's absolutely ways to tell that story and make it work and even make it a recurring thing that goes on over time, right?
Yeah.
And you could have like the carnival be the big bad that he's constantly chasing, but then as he's chasing it, right, he's having to deal with things that spring up within its wake.
Yeah.
Right? You know, because they came into town and they did these things. Well, whenever they leave, it could be either something was created by them being there, or their presence drew in things from the countryside to start attacking this town again. Or you could do a ton of stories in that kind of a world.
I like this idea. Copyright Dad Level Podcast. We'll see where this goes.
Patent pending.
Yeah, patent pending. This is my copyright, this video right here. It is June 27th, my dad's birthday. I'm copywriting it now at 9:41 p.m.
There you go.
But no, I think that'd be a really cool idea. I don't know. I always like to take ideas and just kind of play with them in my head. Even if they don't go anywhere, it's just something I love stories. So
Yeah. I mean, one of the best examples of kind of a Weird West that was fairly well received, but I don't think gives quite as much recognition as it should. Was a Clint Eastwood movie, Pale Rider, where he is clearly a dead man walking, exacting revenge on those that did him wrong in the past. Right? Fantastic movie. Very, very underrated in terms of Eastwood's Western catalog. And I know I've read some people discuss somewhere in a couple other places that it was, well, no, what was it? I don't, was it Pale Rider or Outlaw Josie Wells? Take it back. It was Josie Wells, they were saying, was kind of Unforgiven before Unforgiven. So it was a little ahead of its time in terms of the themes and things that it was going around and trying to tackle. And so even though Outlaw Josie Wells came out and people enjoyed it enough, it didn't get quite the same critical acclaim as Unforgiven got whenever it hit. But yeah, again, such a deep vein of interesting stories that could be told that just could use some people that have the means and the ability to go out and do some really cool visual storytelling out there in the worlds. Be really neat.
I'm hoping Clint Eastwood's got one more in him before he passes on, because unless he becomes the next Betty White and everybody's pushing for him to get 100.
Yeah,
the man is like what, 91 now, still doing his thing. I'm hoping he's got one more in him.
We got James Hong doing the same thing,
right?
Yeah, but I mean, when was the last time Eastwood even made a Western? Because even the most recent one that he did wasn't a Western; it was still modern.
Yeah,
Cry Macho or whatever it was called.
I think so.
I mean, when Eastwood himself is not doing Westerns, it kind of tells you, like, man, what's going on with this genre?
Well, his son looks almost like him, so I mean, you can have him start doing the roles and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Another one, I don't know if they've done a story for this, but like The Crow would work well in a Western format.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the reboot of that? I remember a long time ago, everybody was...
It lived, it died, it lived, it died.
It was supposed to be...
Just like Eric Draven.
Production hole.
It just ended up in limbo.
Well, it would be cool if it was actually, followed the comic where, he just took damage and abandoned himself. He didn't heal.
Well, and supposedly that's what this one was supposed to be. This one was supposed to be faithful to the comic.
It's supposed to be like Jason Momoa too, playing him, but it's like, I don't know. Jason Momoa is great, but I want someone like not so menacing as far as tall like that. You want an average day guy to do something that.
I thought one of the Skarsgård guys was involved with it.
Could be, maybe.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that. I don't know who I would want to play. What was it?
Eric Draven.
Draven. There we go. I was about to say, it was like Daven. No, it's something else. Draven. There we go. To be playing Draven.
It's Matt Damon. That's what it is.
Matt Damon. Some yoked to shit dude. Right?
Yeah, you don't need. I mean, that was what was so great about Brandon Lee playing Eric. He wasn't like, other than the fact that his father was Bruce Lee and he knew Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, but he didn't take off his shirt and start like cracking all the vertebrae of his back and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't going for the wishbone every time he took his shirt off.
Yeah. What's funny is if he hadn't have done the John Wick movies, Keanu would have made a decent Draven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that definitely would work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, that ship's kind of sailed on now. He's a little over the hill for it. And again, it would almost be too close to Wick that it's fine. Keanu, you got your money. Go.
I mean, I can see it. It just depends on the type of story, like say he's a businessman that, comes home to visit his family from a trip and gets all of them get murdered. And then he's just an average day Joe. You think about like, what was it? The movie Knock Knock, where he wasn't like some John Wick. He was just some average guy dealing with some crazy, stupid shit he put himself into.
You'd have to change the character's name to John Draven, though.
There you go. There's been worse Crow movies than that. Like
oh geez, all the sequels are horrible.
Iggy Pop doing black tar heroin off of a gentleman. A lady of the night on a motorcycle. If I remember that right, I think that was the second one.
Yeah, second one. Yeah,
City of Angels or whatever.
And Edward Furlong.
Yeah,
how he fell.
What was funny whenever we went to go see Jurassic World, whatever the hell the new Jurassic Park movie is.
Dominion.
Yeah, they actually had a new trailer for Peele's movie Nope.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize until this most recent trailer that the bad guy from The Crow is in it. The gravelly voice dude from that led the
Michael Madsen.
No, it's not Michael Madsen.
Well, he was the dude in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He was the cousin.
Yes.
But hold on.
Yes, I can't think of his name, but I saw him. I was like, oh, he's in this movie? Awesome. I'm glad he's getting work. It's been a minute since I've seen him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do anything in a while.
He's got such a good voice, though, right? It's like, even if he doesn't do acting, that man needs to do more voice work. It's
top dollar, Michael Wincott.
There you go.
So, Colin had it close with the Michael.
Yeah.
Between him and the guy who does the voice for Adam Jensen in the Deus Ex games, those two guys need to do more voice work. They have such cool, just sounds like they've been smoking since they were in the womb type voices, right?
Right. It's Mercedes McCambridge in The Exorcist level.
Yes.
When they were making her smoke cigarettes all day just to do her lines for the entire time of the shoot. Literally, they literally was it William Peter Blatty and oh god, I can't believe I don't know this at the moment. the director. God. All right, take me out back and stone me because one of my favorite movies of all time, and I can't name the director. That's bad. But what they did is the entire time they were doing the shoot and the post-production before they had her voice her lines, they had her smoking like packs and packs a day leading up to that so that her voice would be that gravelly.
Really? Well, it's kind of like what the Gollum juice, right? That Andy Serkis would drink.
Yes.
And just in order to be able to maintain that voice. And then one of the weirder moments was in kind of a callback to a previous episode we did talking about
William Friedkin. There it is. Sorry, William Friedkin.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. So kind of a callback to our previous episode where we were talking about action movies. You had in Smoking Aces, there was the guy who would change his face constantly. And there was a scene where he was listening to a tape and he was going to try and mimic the bodyguard for what's his face from Entourage.
Israel. He was Israel.
Yeah. And so they were trying, he was trying to mimic the voice, and he took he had some kind of aerosol can of something, and he kept trying to get the voice, and he would spray the aerosol can of whatever it was in his mouth, trying to alter his voice. It's like weird stuff like that, man.
And he survived the whole thing in the end.
Yeah.
At the end, even getting all stabbed in the neck, he survived at the end, which was great. But let's roll it back for just a second. We talked about Nope for a second. What if Jordan Peele? What if he did a Western?
I'd be curious. This Nope almost feels like him kind of doing this. Although this most recent trailer has me a little confused because the first trailer that I saw from Nope, it was way more of a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And this most recent trailer almost makes it feel like an action movie.
I don't know. I'm getting lost. Yeah, because I'm thinking is it aliens? Is it not aliens? There's a thing in the sky. What's the thing in the sky? What is going on here?
I mean, it's got to be aliens, but like the first one, it felt like more of a mystery that they weren't sure.
Yeah.
And it was a thing that would just kind of hunt them in the night and at different times, and you were never sure when it was going to appear. And then this most recent trailer, it was almost Independence Day level of, here's the thing, and it just showed up, and now it's chasing them through the middle of the day and attacking all kinds of different people, and like it's almost terrorizing the town nearby and all this stuff. I'm like, wait, what happened? I thought this was going to be a little bit more of a, slow burn type of horror film.
And
still might do that, but the trailer was kind of,
I don't know. Maybe they went and reworked the trailer because the first one sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie there,
Yes, it definitely felt like that.
I need to see the second trailer.
Yeah, go watch it. Like I said, it still looks like it's going to be a good movie. It's just the tone of it shifted way away from that first trailer. It felt like. So I'm still curious about it. I'm still waiting to see it. I'm hoping it'll be good, but it's definitely not quite what I was expecting. But I think Jordan Peele could do a pretty interesting Western. Although, it'd be a neat thing to see. But honestly, if I wanted him to tackle something that, I guess it's not quite akin to that, there was a book that I read many years ago, and it was called Southern Gods. And the entire concept of it was kind of in it was in the southern states. It was like 50s, 60s time period, so kind of Lovecraft country where you have the racism going on. But the focus of it was on blues music, right? And the explosion of blues music at the time.
Okay.
It sort of plays into the whole legend of the guy who went to the crossroads and got his guitar playing ability from
Robert
the devil.
Johnson.
But instead with this, it's they start playing into the King in Yellow. And sort of like how the King in Yellow, the original story, Hastur is being disseminated through the book, right? The collection of stories of the King in Yellow. This is a blues singer who sings songs about the King in Yellow, and it's like corrupting people and all this stuff. And you've got the Cthulhu cult that's building up around it. And the whole time there's this guy who's hunting down and trying to find this bluesman because he's working for a radio company, and they're trying to, originally they're trying to sign him to a deal. But then as the guy's, starting to realize exactly what's happening, it turns into more of him trying to stop this guy and the evil that he's spreading. It was really cool little book. It was really enjoyable. I need to go back and reread it again.
Okay.
That Western that I recently stumbled on the trailer for, Old Henry, that thing's been out for almost 2 years. I never heard about it, never saw anything about it. All of a sudden the trailer comes up. I was like, man, this looks really good. Showed it to my brother, and my brother and his wife will come by and we'll have a movie night. And originally they were his wife was wanting to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah.
The next movie night, and then my brother, after showing that trailer to my brother, he's like, no, I think we're gonna watch this.
Old Henry, isn't that with James Brolin or
Josh Brolin?
It's one of the, isn't it one of the Brolins?
No, it's got
then there's one where somebody was buried in a box or something like that, and I thought it was Old Boy. Maybe that's what it was.
Yes, Old Boy. Josh Brolin. It was a remake of a Korean film.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie is it's kind of messed up a little bit,
just a little.
Korean one was a little bit worse, but still. No, this one's got Trace Adkins, Stephen Dorff, and then Tim Blake Nelson is the guy that, like, I see him. He was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou? It's
The Abomination.
This dude.
Oh, Tim. Yeah, he was supposed to be the leader in the Hulk movies. Tim Blake Nelson. He was the one. He was trying to help Banner deal with the reversing the Hulk process when Emil came and his soldier people came in, and he ended
That's
up
right.
laying down, and it got dripped on his forehead, and his head started puffing up.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Yes,
So he was supposed to be the leader, but they never followed up on it.
that's right. Yeah. And that, right? That and that movie looks really good. He plays the main character in that. Steven Dorff is playing the villain. But yeah, it looks really good. I need to sit down and watch that at some point.
Steven Dorff knows how to play a good villain. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does.
And he does, man.
So just on another topic, kind of real quick before we kind of wrap up. David, did you check out the Steam sale?
No, I haven't looked through it yet. I know I got
good stuff.
Email like, hey, there's like a million things on your wish list that are on sale. I'm like, great. Let me go check my wallet again. Mods. But yeah, I need to go take a look to see if there's anything out there that I really want to grab. Anything catching your eye specifically?
I picked up I went ahead and picked up Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrated just because I'm that guy. But no, I picked up Unmetal for like $10, which I've been wanting to play that one. That was the one that's kind of like a parody of Metal Gear Solid, but plays like the two games on the MSX. You know, Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid 2, or Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, sorry. And then I picked up the Quest for Glory trilogy, or not trilogy, but the 5 games. But it also has the RGB for the version for the first one. And then they have like a Steam sale, which well, Steam sale, but it's all the Valve collection stuff. So it's like all the Valve games for like $7. I had most of them, so it was only like $3 or something for me for the ones I was missing.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then I picked up like Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 4, and Final Fantasy 5, the Pixel remasters, so I can go ahead and start playing through those again, but and see how the changes were, because I really enjoyed how 6 turned out. So
yeah, I keep meaning to go pick up 6 because 6 is the one I keep telling myself that I'm gonna beat one of these days, and I keep not playing it. Just man, it's like I said the other day I have so much crap I'm trying to catch up on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down at the computer, but I'm gonna plug my Switch into it so I can try and finally beat the first Atelier Ryza game. But at the same time, I want to finally finish Ronin Warriors, because I always get to about the same point when the female evil person shows up. Like 3 episodes after she shows up, for whatever reason, it's fate. I get to that point, and no matter how much I tell myself, okay, I need to continue watching, I never do, and I get distracted and go off and do all these other things. And then like 2 years later, I come back and I'm like, oh yeah, Ronin Warriors, son of a bitch, I didn't finish watching that. I need to go back and finish this. So I'm at that point again. I got back there, and instead of continuing, I said, oh, hey, I want to go play Valkyria Chronicles 4 because I haven't beat that either. So I got up, went over to my room, started playing Valkyria Chronicles 4 on the PS4 and catching up on season 4 of Joe Bob's Last Drive-In. And so I'm dooming myself right now.
Yeah,
if I don't right now and start watching Ronin Warriors, it's never going to happen.
Oh yeah, man. What else? It's like I picked up I went ahead and picked up one of the Super Nintendo Switch controllers because they're on sale. I think they're $30. I think they were like a lot more cheaper. I mean, more expensive when they first released. So this was a lot cheaper than what it was. Sorry. And then so I'm waiting for that to come in so I can, play through Super Metroid on the virtual console that, on the Switch. Because I tried to do it with the Pro controller, man. That is not why is the Joy-Con and the Pro controller the worst controller for anything 2D? I cannot stand like trying to play fighting games with it because it hurts my fingers. I mean,
the PlayStation broke me on fighting games.
Look at this.
Yeah.
How that's not great for freaking
yeah.
fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
The PlayStation broke me when it came to fighting games because I more power to all the people that can use the joystick for their inputs, right? That I guess played on fight sticks or whatever. But man, I need that analog pad. I need it. I can't do fireballs and all that without it. And pretzel motions. I've gotten better at pretzel motions because I love playing Terry in not Street Fighter in Super Smash Brothers, and just pulling off Buster Wolf is so satisfying, and Power Geyser is so good. And for whatever reason, I can do Power Geyser and I can do Buster Wolf in Super Smash Brothers, but the second I try to go over and play Guilty Gear, Exard, Accent Core, double X plus Ultra Super or whatever, I can't do Ride the Lightning. I can't do any of half the time I screw up the inputs and it drives me insane. And yeah, the Pro controller sucks if you're used to doing analog pad inputs for
this is the Series X controller. Look at that amazing 8-way D-pad. That is that is perfect. That's what it should be on every controller right there. When you're playing some Street Fighter, some King of Fighters 14 or 15, that's just gold, man. I don't feel like I'm gonna rip my thumb off and have blisters.
Hold that back up again, Vinny.
Oh wow.
8-way D-pad. That sounds like. What do those run?
I think this is just a normal one that came with the console. I think they're like $70 now.
Not cheap.
They're not cheap anymore. I miss the days when it was like, $49.99 for a controller or $59.99 for a controller.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they got 8-way D-pads in them now, and tons
it does. And customizable features if you get a Elite controller. But no, that's funny because like my buddy Whacker got a Switch finally. Or at least he's borrowing a Switch. He's going to buy it from a person. I'm actually going to be sending in tomorrow the extra dock I have for the Switch because he's going to buy it. As long as he gets that, he's going to go ahead and buy it from the lady. And so we were playing Smash Brothers, and I was like, man, I'm having a horrible time playing anybody. But then I put freaking Kazuya on there, and I was like, okay, I'm wiping the floor with these guys. Is it just Tekken in my brain?
Kazuya, man, he's a
beast.
He's a broken ass fighter in that game.
Yeah, he is broken.
But Ike's still my boy. My favorite thing about Ike ever since they first added him in is because of his side special. He actually has really good recovery that you wouldn't expect from a heavy, hard-hitting fighter like Ike. Mm-hmm. So you can knock him way, way off in the map, and then you just do the side B, hold it, and then you just launch yourself across and land on the other side of the platform. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I still need to get a Switch. I'm so behind.
So if you do get one, like you can actually buy the extra docking stations. I went out and bought a bunch of like cheap $20 ones that work awesome. So now like I just about every TV in my house right now has it because I got so sick and tired when I just had the one of disconnecting all the cords and moving it to the next thing. And the kids want to play on this thing now, so I got to unhook all that shit, move it over here. Now I've just got docking stations all over the damn house. So it's like, okay, I have a TV. It is Switch enabled, and I can sit down and play it.
Yeah,
awesome.
I got one in the living room. I got one in next to the computer right here. And Edward has one. Actually, the one that Edward doesn't have one because he got the Switch Lite because the one he had, which is my old one, he ended up messing the port for the slot for the cartridges.
Oh,
yeah. I just haven't called Nintendo to try to get it fixed or put a repair call in for it.
Gotta get that taken care of, man.
Well, hey, it's just sitting here. I mean, it's one of those things that's like I'll get it repaired eventually and then probably just sell it.
Yeah.
Well, if you send it to me, I'll go and get it.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. And but
when I can throw you some money for it, I will.
Okay. Let me see, and then let me see what else. Not much, man. There's nothing else I did this week other than like hanging out with the guys in Discord. We watched Turtles, of course, the stuff with Anna that was going on.
Yeah.
Celebrating her birthday.
You did the movie watch thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up being up until like 5 that morning. So, because like half an hour in, I'm like, oh, I'll go watch the movie with the guys on the Discord, and there's nothing. It's just silence. So I'm like, what the? So I put, where?
So after we were like, I waited for Dad and Josh and them to get on. Dad was like, I'm going to bed. And then Josh and Paul were like, yeah, we'll get on. And then nothing. So Ryan and a couple of other guys were like, hey, just put it over here. And no one messaged me in the Discord. I was like, all right, well, I'll just put it in Ryan's
did.
Discord. Okay.
I messaged in the Discord it was like 1 o'clock my time when you started it. So I'm like, it's like 1:29. I'm like, I'll get in there and I'll watch a movie with guys and hang out. I'm wide awake. Why not? And it was like crickets. So I put in I put right under, you said movie at 12 o'clock. So I'm like, where? And there was nothing. So I'm like, how the hell was this?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's fine. I was confused.
So we're trying to figure out what we're going to watch this next week or this Friday. I did pick up Highlander for like $5 on Vudu, and then I picked up UHF because we hadn't watched that in a while, and we started watching that on Sunday, and like I didn't get a chance to finish because I was just getting tired, and then so that's
I have it on VHS still, and it works. And of course, I've got 5 VCRs, so I do. I got them. I got 5 VCRs. I got them like 1 here. I've got 2 in a rack over there. I've got a stereo one over there. I've got 1 over there for the gaming stuff. I got VCRs everywhere. I'm lousy with them.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a VCR somewhere in one of our boxes in the garage.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you need one, I'll send you one.
Ready for the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade for the Switch.
I'll even throw in a couple of movies that I've got laying around that I think would be.
There you
go. Sweeten the pot.
I think we're gonna watch Mortal Kombat, maybe the original.
Oh, the very first one?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'll put a poll up and see what the guys want to do, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
I really want to watch Beverly Hills Cop. If I haven't watched it in a while, that'd be great.
That could be fun.
But
there's so much crap I need to watch. But first things first, though. I'm finishing Ronin Warriors. Damn it.
Yeah.
Gonna get done. Never seen the end of that stupid anime. I'm gonna do it.
He's dying to see it, yet it's a stupid anime.
Yeah, it's gonna end like big O. It's just gonna like circle back and restart at the beginning.
You're gonna find out they're all replicants.
Yeah, that's right. They're all
going to directly link into the last episode of Futurama.
Or it was all a dream? They're all high school students.
Oh, the Bobby Ewing approach. I love it.
Yes. I'm going to be very upset.
Or it'll be the whole, Mighty Max ending.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, the train has gone off the rails and finally come to a stop.
Man.
Somebody needs to get the rights and re-release that damn show, please.
Yes, please. That'll be the one thing. If I can't do anything with this YouTube channel, is to bring Mighty Max back.
What is Mighty Max? What's wrong with you people?
Start a GoFundMe.
That's just the sad thing is we'll never be able to have Tim Curry do the voice, though.
Yeah,
he can still do voiceover stuff. It just takes him a lot longer.
Maybe Mark Hamill could come in to do it.
Yes. Get your gravelly voice guy in there to do it.
There you go.
Yeah, because it can't be like him doing like the Joker or Skeletor. It has to be a little bit more deeper.
Yeah. Hey, just anything to get that show back, get it rolling again, and get us an ending where maybe everyone doesn't die this time.
Yeah, and Max, like, I wanted to see that whole episode where, Max is all, older and
old man Max. That'd be cool.
Be good, man. Be awesome.
Yeah. Virgil and Norman.
Could be good. Could be very good.
There's a lot of good out there that's possible. Just it takes money.
It does take money.
It's money and time.
It does.
And firstborn children. Wait, no, I didn't say that.
Secondborn.
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 Yeah. Or unless you're in the Tim Burton Batman Returns universe, then it's the firstborn.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, the real quick note. Apparently, the Flash movie, because Ezra Miller himself is a human train wreck. Apparently, it's going straight to HBO Max.
Human train wreck is
they said they're gonna fire him, and it's like they did fire him, but it's like, why are they still releasing this garbage?
They've said that there will be no future projects with him. They didn't say fired. They just said there will be no future projects with him.
Because the man has already been paid. They have already used the money on it.
And they want Michael Keaton's Batman out there.
They got to get something.
Just get somebody to, like, I don't know. What is it?
Oh, you want them to go full Army of the Dead and completely replace the character with a CGN? But that was a side character. You're talking about the main protagonist of the movie. A little more difficult.
Who is actually himself in two forms in that movie. You'd be like, there are certain scenes in the Batcave you'd be double heads,
It's bad enough that I have to deal with one of him in the movie. Now I have to deal with two of him in the movie.
Yeah.
It'll be a train wreck. The only DC movie I care about right now is Black Adam, and seeing Pierce Brosnan absolutely kill it as Dr. Fate.
Yes.
I never realized that I wanted Pierce Brosnan to be Kent Nelson until I started seeing the trailers for Black Adam and was like, you know what?
It works.
In my life.
It absolutely works.
He's a damn good Fate. Let's do it. Let's do this. Give me the JSA. I want to see all.
Buckle up.
It's because it is fate. All right, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. We really enjoyed talking about Blade Runner and The Thing, and as well as going into stories we would like to see. Westerns would be fantastic to come back, especially if they kind of add some kind of otherworldly element to it instead of just, what we get lately with stuff. But yeah, tell us down below, what you've been watching, what you would like to see it as a movie, maybe what you've been playing. But until then, have a great one. And remember, we are 5 episodes away from our first live episode, the 50th episode. So until then, have a great one. We'll catch you later.
Deuces.